Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Las Palmas in La Liga. Barcelona is back, baby. 2 weeks off during the international break. We're going to have another 10 days off after this game as well. But we will absolutely take some beautiful champagne chavy ball tomorrow evening against Las Palmas. Of course, we are still pushing in this league title race. A lot of optimism around Barcelona and the board as well for the league title. Few games away from the Clásico as well, and Barcelona need to rack up these 3 points to have any chance of staying in a title race. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so your regular kickoff time in La Liga, and this match will be taking place at the Lluís Companys Stadium in Montjuic, which of course is the home of Barcelona this season, and the referee for this match has also been confirmed as well. On the pitch it will be Mateo Ferreira, and on the VAR it will be Eduardo Iglesias. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona are currently firmly grasping second place on 64 points after playing 29 matches. We have 19 wins, 7 draws, 3 losses. If you look at our last 5 games in the league, it is the best in the top 4 with 4 wins and 1 draw. Top of the table, Real Madrid, we are 8 points behind them. They're sat on 72 points after playing 29 matches. They have 22 wins, 6 draws, 1 loss. Look at their last 5 games in the league, 2 draws, 3 wins. We are now, of course, 2 points ahead of Girona, who have been nothing short of shocking in their recent matches. Look at their last 5 games, 2 wins in the last 5, and the other 3, not even like a draw or 2 draws and a loss, 3 losses. 2 points ahead of them now. We firmly have a place in second, and we do have Athletic Club in 4th place on 56 points. So top 4, of course, is secured. No question about that. We are now discussing to, of course, finish at least second to have that Super Cup spot for next season, but also, is there a league title race? Of course, we know who Barcelona are facing, who are Real Madrid facing. We'll also look at the top teams while we're at it as well. Girona will be hosting Real Betis at the Montilivi, where Real Madrid will be hosting Athletic Club at the Bernabeu. So first versus 4th on paper will be difficult, but of course, at the Bernabeu, Real Madrid always have and always will beat Athletic Club. I see them getting 3 points. I also see Girona getting 3 points as well, although I do think there's a better chance that Girona drop points than Real Madrid. With Real Madrid, I believe Vinicius is suspended for the game, so that might help a little bit. If we can even get a draw, that would be nice. Any drop points up until, the Clásico from Real Madrid will absolutely take. This is, I think, their best chance of dropping points before the Clásico in terms of league fixtures. So if they don't drop points in this game, we're looking at an 8-point gap going into the Clásico, which again doesn't really bode well for a title race with only a few games left to go in the league campaign. Of course, as things currently stand, there are 9 games left in La Liga, so it's going to be difficult. Of course, I think right now we should just be, focusing mainly on just securing and getting a firm grasp on second place. Of course, that Super Cup position next season, should I say, very, very vital. But are we in a league title race? It depends, of course, on what the point gap is going to the Clásico. But again, watch out. 1st versus 4th this weekend. Best chance for Real Madrid to drop points before then. But of course, Barcelona had to focus on their task ahead and beat Las Palmas first to even benefit from Real Madrid possibly dropping points. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Las Palmas and where they're currently standing in the league table, they're currently sat in 11th place in La Liga on 37 points after playing 29 matches. They have 10 wins, 7 draws, 12 losses. For a newly promoted side, this honestly isn't bad. But what is bad is their last 5 games in the league. 3 losses, 2 draws, winless in their last 5 games. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Las Palmas, who right now are suffering their worst form of the season. Of course, despite being the newly promoted side, they're of course guaranteed safety at this point. They're one of the better sides in the league overall this season in terms of style of play. They've gotten some good results, and again, competing in that top half of the Liga table, being newly promoted is no mean feat. But again, recently they have not been on the best of form. Now, the last time we did play them was at the beginning of the year, where we did beat them 2-1 away from home. Very, very Not luckily, because we did dominate the game, but it was, of course, a last-second penalty by İlkay Gündoğan, who, of course, went down for the penalty, scored the penalty as well. Munir, former Barcelona player, scored very early on in the first half. This is at the point in the season where we were conceding in the first 15 minutes on a regular basis. But again, we got the 3 points. Ferran Torres pulled it back at the beginning of the second half. But again, we did play Las Palmas right after the Christmas break, so this is now after another international break where we're kind of facing each other again. So a bit of a same parameter, you could say, in that regard. Now, if you take a look at Las Palmas' last 5 matches in all competition, in their last match, they lost to Almeria at home 1-0. We'll talk about that. They lost to Athletic Club 2-0. They drew 3-3 with Getafe, 1-1 with Osasuna, and they got clapped by Atletico Madrid 5-0. This is what I talk about. Their recent form has been nothing short of abysmal. I don't think they've won a game past like February, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even this year. I think this year they've won a game, but I think past the Copa del Rey games and all that stuff in January, where there's like a lot of games in the fixture conjunction, I think past them they've not won a game whatsoever. But let's take a look at the last 3 games in all competition. Firstly is the 3-3 draw against Getafe, which I actually did end up watching this game. Very, very entertaining with a lot of back and forth. 2 players who played for Barcelona. All 3 players have been linked with Barcelona in the past in some sort of capacity, scoring. Yes, Sergio Cardona, who's linked with Barcelona this summer. Of course, Monier from Barcelona, and Sandro Ramirez from Barcelona as well. Very, very even game. Of course, when we saw the league table, Getafe and Las Palmas are 10th and 11th respectively. So a very even matchup. I think on paper, both teams very, very similar in terms of quality. Both have their pros and cons. In the end, it was an absolute goal fest. I think Getafe did let this slip away a little bit, especially being the home side. I think they were 3-1 up at some stage, or 2-1 up. They were definitely in a winning position at least once or twice, but in the end, Las Palmas strongly fought back and earned a high-scoring 3-3 draw. But next up is their 2-0 loss to Athletic Club, and again, Athletic Club are a better side than Las Palmas. You're thinking maybe them being the home side, they can definitely get maybe something out of the game. In the end, they did it. A few missed players in this game as well for them. It wasn't their strongest side, so to speak, but yet again, mainly, of course, in the midfield. But yet again, they just couldn't really compete with the higher level teams. They're kind of competing in the middle of the league table, and of course, they're dominating teams in the bottom half. But when you get to that top half, your Betis, Athletic Club, Sociedad, maybe even Villarreal to some extent, that's where they tend to really, have to show their quality and really compete with it. Don't end up doing. In the end, I think Athletic Club fairly won this game 2-0. But their final match before the international break, they lost to Almeria. Keep in mind, Almeria, winless this season. I don't think they've won a game since last May. May 2023, I think, was the last time they won a game. And they beat Las Palmas. I'm thinking that's like one of the teams I don't think they would beat. And again, stats say, I didn't watch the game, but the stats shows that the game was fairly even, despite Las Palmas being the home side. This is maybe away from home. I can be like, can kind of see it. This is at home. This is, I think, one of the most embarrassing losses this season. Yes, Almeria are shocking, and yes, Las Palmas are decent. I expected Almeria to get their first win maybe against, what's another crap side, like a Granada, maybe somewhere else in like the bottom of the league table. Not against a decent side like Las Palmas, especially when they are the away side. This is nothing short of an absolute disgrace in my opinion, losing to Almeria. Again, you don't have fixture congestion. Look at their starting lineup. Julian Araujo is there, Mika Marmol, Sergio Cardona, Munir, Sandro Ramirez, Alex Morero as well. There's their captain Kieran Rodriguez, and of course their keeper Alvaro Valles, who a lot of Barcelona fans want. Barcelona, very, very strong team, and they lost. I mean, nothing much to say from that. This is one of the worst losses anyone's ever experienced this season, especially losing to Almeria. So overall, final thoughts on Las Palmas. First of all, I think they have a very, very good side, very good players. They play very well. They're very well managed by their manager, Garcia Pimienta, former Barcelona Athletic manager, former Barcelona player as well. Really well liked around the Barcelona fan base as well for his work that he did with Barcelona B, getting them playing beautiful football and almost getting promotion as well. Done a very good job with Las Palmas, of course, bringing them back to La Liga. But again, these past 2 months have been a very, very ropey stretch for them. Now, in terms of players to look out for, there is quite a few. Again, Mika Marmol, top center back, used to be, of course, former Barcelona player. Monier, former Barcelona player. Sandro, former Barcelona player as well. I see their captain, Kieran Rodriguez, has done very well. Alvaro Valles, on paper, one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga. One player that we don't have to look out for, of course, is Julian Araujo, who is going to be loan banned for this game. If he can play the game, but Las Palmas will have to pay a fine to Barcelona of 300,000 euros, which of course they will not do. So Julian Araujo will not play this game, even though he is fit. I think he is fit coming off the back of the international break. He did have a bit of an injury, of course, for Mexico, which we did talk about in the last news video. But nonetheless, they are missing one of their key players at right back. Apart from that, they are fully strength and ready to go. A team that can be dangerous, especially when they play well on top of their game. But again, the recent form suggests they're in their worst spell in their past year. They're playing all right, but they're not competing. They're not getting results, and they just got beat by the worst team I've seen in La Liga in a very, very long time as well. So not coming in on hot form, but of course, after the international break, it's a reset. They might come back a brand new side, and Barcelona have to be ready for that. Now, with this being a home game, the squad list will not come out until probably tomorrow, a few hours before the game, but we do have some leaks in regards to the squad fitness. Now, in summary, instead of just reading everything to you, Ferran Torres, Victor Roque, big chances of returning, of course, for Victor Roque mainly as a starter. Ferran Torres going to get the green light, of course, medically wise. He was injured since end of February, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe beginning of February, somewhere around then. Of course, he's been fully fit since pre-international break because I had the whole international break rested. He'll get the green light. Victor Roque, great chances of starting the game, especially with Lewandowski playing a lot during the international break as well. But here's the big news. Christensen and Araujo both have slight niggling knocks, and they might not even be called up for this game as well. Most likely, neither of them will start the game, but most likely as well, neither of them will even be called up for this game. Again, they're not injured per se, but not fully fit as of right now. So that's, two pros, two cons. Two cons being, of course, Araujo and Christensen not quite fit for this game. Next time we'll see this is going to be PSG quarterfinals, of course, in the Champions League. But two pros, Ferran Torres should be fully fit, get the medical green light, and also Victor Roque has huge chances of starting this game. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We'll start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict his lineup. It will be very, very difficult to predict because, of course, they're coming off the back of international break. There's going to be some rotations, some sort of changes. But you also have 10 days until our next game. Of course, next weekend is the Copa del Rey final, which we're not involved in. So our next game is going to be PSG quarterfinals, first leg in Paris. That's something to keep in mind for as well. But I think that Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Koundé, Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Hector Fort. Midfield three of Gundogan, Roberto, and Fermin Lopez, and a front three of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. You're probably thinking, oh, you just said Victor Roque has good chances of starting the game. I said good chances. I didn't think he'd start. I think Xavi's going to go fairly strong. I think Xavi's going to keep it strong, saying that, let's go out there, first hour, win the game. You're going to have 10 days of rest anyway, which is more than enough for these players to recuperate and recover, especially after, being used to playing week in, week out for so many months now. I think Xavi's going to go full strength. Of course, in the back line, no Araujo, no Christensen. This is the best back five you can make. We could see Alonso come back. Don't think so, though. Midfield as well, no Frankie, no Pedri, no Gavi. So this is probably going to be the best midfield three you can make up. Fermin Lopez coming back in. Of course, no Christensen in the pivot, which means that Sergio Roberto could be getting a start, I believe. The question really is, will he start Gundogan or not? Will he go with Romeu, potentially? Maybe even Casado if he's really feeling nice. Keep in mind as well, Xavi is suspended for this game as well, so it will be his brother, Oscar Hernandez, on the touchline. Front three, I think 100% Raphinha is going to start. The other two are the question marks. We could see Victor Roque, we could see Ferran Torres, we could maybe see Marguerite potentially, but I think that, again, Xavi will go strong for this game. Even though I hope he doesn't, I think he will in the end. But that's not the thing that Xavi Hernandez was left for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach, and I have made a few, could even say more than a few changes from Xavi's lineup prediction. I've gone absolutely full rotation. I've got Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Hector Fort at right back, Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Marcos Alonso at left back. A midfield three of Romeu, Roberto, and Fermin Lopez, and a front three of Raphinha, Victor Roque, and João Felix. My main priority is to rest three hugely key players: Koundé, Gundogan, Lewandowski. For me, those three, I don't even care if we're losing the game, would not touch a blade of grass. They need to be 100% fully fit for that game. Of course, Araujo and Christensen are already going to be out for this game. That's what, 5 key players there rested for Barcelona, which I think is very important. I'm so excited for this game for Victor Roque. This, for me, is his big moment of the season. I really hope that Xavi starts him. Of course, personally, I would start him. But what's the important thing, though, about Victor Roque? I think if he is starting, you have to start Raphinha, have that communication there, someone that can, guide him during the game, help him learn and develop as well, since he can speak Portuguese. Also, of course, João Felix can speak Portuguese, and so I start him on the left as well, giving Lamine Yamal a nice little rest as well. I wouldn't throw in Ferran Torres either. He probably is fit to start the game, but I still wouldn't throw him in from the get-go. Probably bring him on as a sub, maybe around the hour mark or so. The midfield three, I was going to start Casado, but let's be honest, that's not realistic whatsoever, so I would go with Romeo Roberto, Fermin Lopez. Kubarsi, Inigo are only fit, center backs on paper, so to speak. Of course, I'll take away from Koundé playing at right back, but Hector Fort at right back, I actually want to see Hector Fort in his natural position. Keep in mind, at left back, where he's been doing sensationally well this season, isn't his natural position. He's actually a right back. And of course, let's see what Marcos Alonso's got. He's been out for about 6 months, 5 months with his back injury. Let's see if he can at least keep up with pace with Las Palmas. And that's lineup I was selected for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? Look, I think that Barcelona will definitely win this game. I've gone with a personal score line of 2-0, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game. Number one, we're placing a very decent side. Number two, we're coming off the back of international break. Number three, we are expecting a little bit of a rotated side. I think right now the mood is so high, confidence is on like an all-time high at Barcelona right now in terms of the fan base, the players, the coaches as well. I think that will probably get us over the line a little bit, but I don't think it'll be that easy either. I think this team's going to be very, very difficult to face against Las Palmas. I think Garcia will set them up very, very well. Again, their track record this season hasn't been the greatest, but again, if we want to be in the league title race, you've got to be Las Palmas at home. I think we will definitely win this game, but how and where and what and the 5 W's is what remains to be seen. Even a clean sheet, I couldn't really guarantee you, but we have kind of a clean sheet streak going right now. That's why I kind of continued it a little bit. But depending on what Xavi does in his selection, how strong he goes, how rotated he goes, will have a big factor as well. But overall, very, very confident that Barcelona will win this game, and I have got Barcelona win this game by 2-0. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Barcelona versus Las Palmas in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing, firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup for this game? What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go through the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me, follow after the match, by my match reviews. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead, of course. No game after this until PSG as well, so we've got to win to keep the mood high going into that PSG game as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, and Forza Barca.
Go, go, go, go, go.